Welcome to this month's edition of the Hello Woodlands Nonprofit of the Month Highlight. Good morning, I'm Randy Lovelace with Paragon Independent Insurance, and I'm here with MG Tindall with Inspiration Ranch. And this place is inspirational. I mean, just look behind it. It's got longhorn cattle out here, the pond, horses. It's fabulous here. So let me let MG take over and explain who is Inspiration Ranch and something about it.
Well, thanks, Randy. We're thrilled to be able to do this and share a little bit about what we're doing. Inspiration Ranch is a nonprofit 501c3, and we've been in establishment for about 13 years now. We have two main programs that we do. We have our Therapeutic Riding Program, which is for children with special needs. We serve about 33 different diagnoses, the top of which are autism, cerebral palsy, Down syndrome, and ADHD. And so those kids actually come out, they get to ride the horses, they're learning a riding skill, and there's a therapeutic benefit that goes along with that. So we see really great progress along with that program. We see kids that come out here and will start talking and saying their first words and walking, and so some really miraculous things happen when you connect a kid with a horse. We're at a new location out here. We were in the Woodlands for probably 10 years, and we had 15 acres over there. I'm sure a lot of our listeners know that they were flood property. We were on a flood property out there. And so with a lot of struggles of evacuating horses multiple times a year and lots of erosion and flood control, we made the decision a couple of years ago to start searching for a new place, and we landed out here. So we've got 40 acres, and we're just outside of the Woodlands, about 15 minutes from the back side of the Woodlands, and so easy to find and easy to access.
So what kind of volunteers do you need?
So we have a lot of volunteer opportunities out here, Randy. So we need people that are willing to come out and work with our clients for our therapeutic riding program. And so we have 3 volunteers every time we start a child riding. So you have 2 sidewalkers and a horse leader. So
Are there requirements or experience requirements?
There's no experience requirements. Okay. You don't even have to have ever been around a horse, although that is certainly helpful. But we'll teach you everything that you need to do. We do a 2-hour training that people come out for, and they can really get a feel for what it is that they're going to do. We also use event volunteers. So we throw several events out here and at various places during the year. And so we're always looking for people to get involved with that as well, too. So,
okay.
Yeah.
How can someone donate other than their time?
Yes.
I'm sure, like any other nonprofit, funds are a big part of your needs.
Funds are a huge part. It's an expensive program to run, so it does take a bit, and we never turn anyone away due to funding issues, and so we make it possible for everyone to come out and be a part of our program, whether it's the therapeutic riding or the mental health. And so as a result of that, we do need funding, and this year especially. This has been a challenging year for us with finances, and as it has been for everyone, but our programs are growing, so that hasn't slowed down. That need hasn't changed, and so you can visit our website to go and donate or volunteer there. And there's a lot of ways. We have an Adopt a Horse program, we have a Sponsor a Rider program, and then there's general giving to several different areas, as well as our capital campaign that's going on.
Cool, very good. And now we have Debbie Blackmon, which is over the mental health part of Inspiration Ranch. So tell us about that.
Okay. We started our mental health program in March of this year, actually just a few days before we shut down.
Was there a particular reason or something that directed you, or you saw a need or to start the mental health part?
Inspiration Ranch did. I wasn't here at that time.
Okay.
And so I was hired around that time, and we started the program at that time. But yes, Inspiration Ranch had seen a need, and they had a prior program, and then when they moved here, they started this one.
I got you.
So the program has developed throughout the pandemic, and has developed in kind of it's evolved to meet the needs of the community as it's come to us. We are a trauma-focused program, and so we specialize in working with people who have experienced difficult life situations. The program that we use is a psychotherapeutic program. I am a therapist, and I use all the kinds of strategies and techniques and tools that any therapist would use, I also bring in horses as partners into the sessions. The reason that we use horses as partners is because they're highly relational. They are able to work with, or they are able to pair with the nervous systems of the humans, and they are able to give a lot of authentic feedback about what is going on with the humans that are interacting with them. One of the big things to understand about trauma is that anytime people, or really any mammal, is in a situation where they are fearful for their survival in some fashion, they move into the lower parts of their brains and move into what everybody knows as the fight, flight, freeze mode. When a brain is working in that mode, when it's firing in that mode, it can't think. So our neocortex, our prefrontal cortex, all of that goes offline. One of the things that we're seeing happening in our communities now is we have had several months of pretty much everybody being in fear of some sort of survival, whether it's their physical health or their economic survival or a combination of the two. All of us are thinking a lot more about our survival than we have had to in the past. So the word we use for that is dysregulated. All of us are a little more dysregulated than we're accustomed to being. The beauty of the horses is that their nervous systems will entrain with ours. So part of the work we do is learning to recognize the tiny little subtle cues that your body gives you that you are beginning to move into a dysregulated or survival mode state. And the horse will give a lot of feedback about that as well. So the first part of the therapy that we do really often is help people start to recognize what state they're in and how to know what to do to get themselves in a more integrated state. Once that happens, then we're able to start a more traditional type of therapy with the horses. The other piece of what we do is relational. We actually go out and over a period of one session to 2 or 3 sessions, a horse and a human will pick each other out to be partners in their therapeutic journey. And in the process of establishing that relationship, of learning how to regulate with the horse, of learning how to recognize communication and respond, the attunement, the attachment patterns that people have and relationship patterns that people have with other humans show up with the horses. They will interact with the horses the way they do with humans. So as part of that process, there's a mental health team. There's myself, who is a mental health professional, and then I have a partner who is an equine professional. And the two of us are able to help the clients understand the relational patterns that they are enacting and help them figure out maybe some different kinds of patterns that they want to have that might help their lives be a little more what they want them to be.
Oh. Is there a special horse that you use or that's gone through
So
trainings?
we have 6
Okay.
really awesome horses. And we are really fortunate enough to have a whole space here and our own herd that only does this kind of work. One of the big pieces about this kind of work is that it is so relational. The horses really have to be willing to be really with us. So we spend a lot of time, we don't train them to do it. What we do is spend a great deal of time building relationships with them ourselves so they understand the relational process. They understand that they are allowed to have opinions and make decisions. A big piece of the work, particularly with trauma survivors, is the idea of consent, that we ask for consent from the horse the same way we would ask for consent from a human. Mm-hmm. And that ongoing consent is critical to having a real relationship with someone.
Makes sense. Absolutely. Well, that's how long have you been working in this area as far as with the horses and this type of therapy?
This type of therapy for about a year.
Okay.
I was a licensed specialist in school psychology and then retired, but I was a lifelong horse hobbyist. So as a retired person, I thought it would be a nice way to put the two things together. So I went and got considerable additional training to be able to add the equine-assisted work with it.
This is such an important thing, and it's a huge need in our community everywhere. But you know, we're here in this community. We see the need, and it's definitely there. How does somebody contact you? Do they contact Inspiration Ranch? And is there an interview process, or how does one get connected with the mental health part?
Yes. My email address is thecottage@inspirationranch.org, and that's the best way to get in touch with me. So you email me directly. The process is kind of, there's threefold. After I talk on the phone with someone first, we will set up an initial meeting, which is free of charge. And I call that a meet and greet, and I tell clients that's their way to come interview me, see the facility, see if we're going to be a good fit. Because the kind of therapy we do is so relational, it's really important that people get a chance to meet me and meet my equine specialist and be sure they feel comfortable with us. So they come out for that initial meeting. We explain the program, we explain how it works, we meet the horses. If they want to continue with that, then they schedule an intake session, and that's just a typical intake session where I would send paperwork for them to fill out before they come back. And then if they want to continue beyond that, at that intake session, we determine kind of a treatment plan and goals. And then based on that, we decide how often they need to come and kind of get an idea of maybe how long.
Wow. Well, I tell you, once they get here, this is so relaxing. This is so wonderful. I mean, I can say that you don't want to leave.
That's right.
But that's just me. This is a great place. Find out all you can about Inspiration Ranch. It's a wonderful place. They're servicing a fabulous need. Well, they're servicing a definite need in our community, and just see how you can help, whether it's by volunteering or by donating. Again, thank you for watching this segment of the Hello Woodlands Nonprofit of the Month highlight. I'm Randy Lovelace. Thanks so much, and see you next time. Bye-bye.